How's it going, troops? Welcome back to the Tactical Perspective toy review on the G.I. Joe Classified Series 6-inch figure line. Today, I am doing my show out of my car, and I am doing my best to try and get these things back down to a quicker watch. Just because I'm going to skip over who I am. You know, I'm the Crusty Old Crow, and if you've watched other videos, you know my background and what I'm trying to bring to the table as far as my reviews. You know, I do them in one takes, and I don't do editing, so that's why I have a small subscriber base, I'm sure, and that's fine by me. This is a hobby, guys, and I'm loving every minute of it. So hello to the subscribers and to everybody just dropping by. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like. If you really like it, subscribe. We're more than happy to have you on board. Thanks very much. So today, while I was in Toronto, I decided to take advantage of being in a new place. As I've stated in earlier videos, I'm usually out of Ottawa these days. Ottawa, where I'm at, I don't get a lot of classified diversity out there. I've got pretty much everything Ottawa had to offer as far as those figures go. So today in Toronto, I stopped by Toys R Us, and I was very happy to come across the one I'm doing the review on today, number 11 in the series. We're digging back into the vaults, and we're going for that second swing with RoadBlock. Yeah, I've been waiting to try and land one of these ones because in Ottawa, number 1 in the series, RoadBlock, was very much available, but I was holding off. I was hoping to get the heavy artillery RoadBlock, but I really did still want this one, number 11 RoadBlock, and the Cobra Island one. So what was it that was so appealing about this RoadBlock? Well, as you can see from other reviews, and if you're very familiar with what this figure did and didn't bring to the table, I wasn't a big fan about the sci-fi weapon, but man, was I ever digging that look he was sporting with that stuff. So let's get this guy out of the box. I just popped the tape, and let's have a look at what he comes with, because it isn't much, guys. This is not an expensive figurine. In fact, what I paid for this one at Toys R Us today, because it was on clearance, and I had to dig deep, guys. They didn't even have them like aisled off where it was like all CoverGirl one way, all Falcone down that one, all barbecue. They were scattered. So I was like a little kid. I was like, no, we're looking at all. And I came across him in the back, and they were already doing a clearance sale. They're doing a good clearance sale this week. But this one was super clearance. I only paid $17.99 Canadian for this one, and I feel like that was the fair price because, like I said, guys, he don't come with much. So let's pop out the figure. We'll talk about the figure, and then we'll have a look at his accessories. So I'll just give it very gently. There goes my glasses. Okay, so that was graceful. And look at that. That is the RoadBlock that I wanted for a reason. One of the main reasons I wanted this one is because he's one of the few Joes that is sporting a CAD-PAT that is the gray style, but also he really looks like he's part SF and part ready to go on PT. He's ready to kick down a door and storm a building, jump out of a helicopter, and maybe go for a light jog and maybe some CrossFit after. It's just the way he's garbed, and I dig that. I dig it. I do. I think that was a very cool approach to this figure, having the G.I. Joe logo across the breast the way it is. There's very few shout outs to their unit on the figures throughout the area, so having that on there was really cool. I thought, yeah, on one figure in your collection, maybe it's cool to have them self-promote a little bit. So if we go up to the head, I'm looking at this head and I'm thinking this is one of my favorite heads I've seen so far in the Joe line, and I know it's an earlier release, but there's just something they've snapshot in here. This guy seems like half B.A. Baracus from the A-Team remake. I can't remember the UFC fighters anymore. Jackson. Anyways, half him, half Kimbo Slice, and a little bit of, I don't know what, man. The bandana does it with me. That beard's certainly working much better on this iteration. And having that high-speed headset strapped onto his ear, I mean, that thing looks painful as F, right? And it's certainly not, I don't think it's a real headset. I've never seen anything like that in my career. But at the same time, I don't feel like that's the most comfortable thing to have clamped in. I feel like maybe that needs a couple of surgical magnets put under your lobes or something to keep that on, man. But either way, very cool. And then you follow his traps down and you get into that shirt design. And I've already spoken about that. He does have that backpack peg on the back. And guys, no backpack with this one. But if you wanted to slap one on there, look at this articulation. Why would you spoil that? This guy's doing somersaults and backflips all day long. Don't put a backpack on him. That's why he didn't come with one. Anyways, I've just demonstrated how articulate a figure with no load-bearing vest, no webbing can be. So take that to heart. He's got that lion from Zion tattoo. Very cool. You know, it doesn't... And then he's got the articulation points on here are what the classified series were known for. And he's got a bit of butterfly joint, so you can really push that pec deck out, right? And get some good posing on there. Photographers would probably have a good time. Like, yeah, look at him. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess this is one of the things that would probably have been talked about in early designs of these things. I noticed it with the Destro retro card figure, and now I'm seeing it even more prevalently with him. But with the older figures, I'm wondering, is this normal? Like, do they all have that big space right here? Right? You see it, right? And it looks like that's something they solved further down the line, maybe with number 12, 13, because I didn't notice this before with the later figures as much. And I think that's because they had the webbing and the pouches and maybe some vests to cover up that. Or maybe they've changed the angle on the abdomen part of the torso. So maybe, I don't know. I'm going to have to check that out. But either way, not a ruiner for me. He's got that hip swivel. Yeah, hip swivel. You know, he's good to go, guys. I love this particular RoadBlock, and I know I'm not in the majority. I know everybody wants or prefers, it seems, the heavy artillery where he's got the Gatling with a drum of ammo, which actually makes a Gatling go. I don't know why they didn't put that in the Rams, but okay. I know that's the one, and with that tactical helmet, I also want that one. But man, was there ever space in the collection for this guy? He's got that tech gauntlet with it looks like an extra mag or something on there. Don't really care for it. Might very well ditch it. Don't know. But those black technical gloves really work with the image that he's got going. Glad that they didn't try anything else but the black technical gloves. Going down the legs, on one he's got the knee pad right there, and on the other he's got the grenade pouch, which we have seen in a later with Gung Ho. Gung Ho gets that one as well, I believe. And guys, that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it with the figure. Last thing, he's got really technical shin pads, but again, at that flat back black, while I'm not a fan of boot guard shin stuff on a lot of troops, it works with him. I am loving this figure. I really am. I'm a big fan of that figure. Okay, so coming back over here, and I know I skipped over the box, but I'll just quickly show you the box art, guys. It had that comic style art to it. Okay, nothing we ain't been seen before, and we got that Cobra Island graphic there, right? And there you go. That was the box that I skipped over. But then you got your old way of holding the weapons. No crates, no baggies, no ripping, no satisfaction, no dopamine release to any of it. It's plucking them out without trying to warp them. So if you blink, you're gonna miss it. But this was the other reason I really wanted it. It's because I got this satisfaction with the Sergeant Slaughter figure, and it was slipping a pair of sunglasses that can come on and off of a figure. There's something satisfying about that. I'm not gonna lie. When I was a little kid playing with these G.I. Joes, either their glasses were molded on or they were a stupid clear visor, a big honking thing. Looked like a special needs kind of assembly, and it didn't look aggressive or cool. These, oh man, oh yeah, I'm feeling that. They don't, they're very flexible. I guess you got to slide it into the headset and then under the bandana between the ear, and look at that. Polarized lenses. That's pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. I'm assuming those are ballistic Oakleys. That's pretty BA, man. I'm liking that. That's one bad dude, man. I'm loving that figure. Last thing he comes with is the broiler. Not a fan of this, but I'm going to show it. This is his las cannon, and I am going to probably leave this off the figure for quite a while. I have more than enough weapons options with the collection now. Good Lord, you get enough with Joe. That I don't need to see this. I appreciate the creativity of it. I do. The designer clearly, really put a lot into the image, and there's some understanding of how it works here, I guess. But it's just, I am not a fan of these two prawns that denote an energy weapon that is still somehow magazine fed. So it's still got a solid slug of some sort that it's projecting is still gunpowder, or are these charged rounds? Is this a battery pack? Like, I'm not sure, but it does come out, and it certainly does look like, I don't know, guys, what does that look like? Is that supposed to be a battery? I think it's probably a battery, and that explains it for me. I'm not a big fan of the design. I am a fan of the design of the two-handed grips they had, and I do like underslung held weapons for RoadBlock. I don't have anything else but a Gatling gun for him right now with no drum of ammo, but the underslung ammo for underslung weaponry for a guy like this, that's awesome, man. Like, yeah, you could have put an MP5 in his hands, you could put a pistol in his hands, you could put a standard M16 in his hands, but it's almost like a waste of his stature to do that. This dude needs heavy artillery, bazookas, machine guns, what have you. Like, yeah. And to give him this, I get it when you were trying out the line and you're trying to stick to an idea, but no. I'm glad that they moved on to the heavy artillery. I hope I get this again. Guys, playability great on this one. There's such potential here. Like, you add all sorts of kit. He complements a squad with this image of him, and you guys are free to disagree or agree, but definitely to me, a playability. Not a whole lot of kit's going to cost him, because what kit he doesn't have isn't suffice for the sunglasses. They're the exception to it. But playability, I'm going to give this a B-, but I really feel it's a B or a B+ just because the figure's so cool, but that's not the idea here. It's playability. He's very articulate. He's very posable. That works for him, but he's very raw without good kit. Sunglasses aside, so B+, B-, pardon me. Tactical, yeah. I mean, he's got tactical pants. He's got a tactical knee pad. He's wearing flat black. He's got these tack gloves. He's got an earpiece. He's probably ballistic glasses. Definitely beyond regulation beard. PT shirt. I've seen guys decked out worse than this in hostile environments like Afghanistan, close protection teams and things like this, but they're wearing body armor, right? They still have tactical gear, and he's coming without. Love the figure. I gotta deck him out on my own with extra kit. So tactically, he's got grenades. He's got a big honking energy gun with one clip, and I don't think that's a spare battery anymore. So once that clip's done, he's got a very cumbersome club, boom, boom, 3 grenades, boom, and the ability to surrender in 14 languages, and that's it. Like, that's all he's got going for him. So tactically, I gotta give him a C, even a C- on this one. But I still really like the figure, guys. I do. And it was a must. This is one where you buy it for only the figure and only its potential, with what's working in your collection and how you are visioning your troops as you collect them, what you think is a good loadout on them. This is a very niche guy. Okay, guys? So that's the review for today. Look at that. I kept it almost under 15 minutes. Guys, I know I'm not the normal reviewer, and I do appreciate everything that you guys, the comments that have come, the likes, the subscriptions. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for taking the time to hear an old soldier go on about the toys he's loved. And I'll see you next time, because guys, about two things. Bye-bye.